Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I'm going to use my Whispers of Healing cards. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, the links are down below. All right, we're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, what do you need to focus on, and possible future energies. All right, they're kind of... That one wants to come out. What are you struggling with? We have growth. What does Capricorn need to focus on? They're struggling with growth, but what do they need to focus on? We have forward movement. Okay. I kind of feel like that goes with growth, forward movement. Future energies, we have boundaries. Love it. Love it. Because I feel like that represents growth, right? Growing and learning and realizing, okay, that I have to set boundaries with certain situations. I have to set boundaries with myself. I have to set boundaries with other people. And I feel like that is a sign of personal growth. Forward movement is setting boundaries. That's what I feel like we need to do more in our lives, is set those boundaries. But I also feel like it's setting boundaries within ourselves. Okay, so let's grab personal growth. Definitely with the High Priestess, listening to that inner voice, having trouble listening to that inner voice. Sometimes when we tell ourselves things that we don't want to hear, that we will make excuses, right? We will make excuses not to listen or not to follow or not to go through, right? And take actions with it, right? That there's a scattered energy with it. Forward movement, right? Letting it go, moving forward, that you're finally moving on from it and you're standing up for yourself and you're making better choices for yourself. And then boundaries, right? Boundaries make you happy. Boundaries make you feel safe. Boundaries make you feel happy because you're putting yourself in that comfort zone. We have the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles, and I feel like one more and moving on. And then we have this overall energy. We have the 5 of Pentacles. I'm not saying with the boundaries to cut everybody out. The boundaries are seeing that if something is triggering you, if someone is triggering you, if a situation is triggering you, if you're feeling that it's bringing you anxiety and it's bringing you stress and that you're struggling with a situation or a relationship, that you set those boundaries for yourself and you say, you know what, I have to look out for myself and I have to set these boundaries. You can take those boundaries down later, or you can make them bigger and farther, right? Or put up more. I don't feel that boundaries represent putting up walls around yourself. That's not what I'm saying, and close everybody off. I'm saying that when you see a situation, right, that you know that you are not growing, that you know that you're not having that forward movement, that you've, like those relationships with those people that you keep trying and trying and trying and trying, and that it doesn't, the relationship doesn't change, but you don't feel that you are, like it's a healthy relationship for yourself. You feel that it's something that's very draining, or it's one way, or it's toxic, or it's something that does not help you, and that you have to set those boundaries and say, okay, I need to back away. I need some time to myself. I can't involve myself as much with this person because this person affects me in a negative way, and it takes me days or weeks in order to get past that energy and to feel better. Or I always feel heavy around this person. I always feel like I have this weight on my shoulders around, and I always feel like I'm not good enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, right? And why do you want to put yourself in those situations? Same with like if you're at a job. Yes, we can't just turn around and do different jobs. But if you're saying, you know what, I'm not happy with my job. I'm not happy with this situation, right? It feels, I know I had a receptionist job at the hair salon and I had this heaviness, and I one day I drove in and I sat in my car and I had a complete anxiety. I had my head between my legs and I was like, I can't breathe. I'm like, I can't go in there. I can't do this. And I was like, you know what? I need to make some changes. Like, I can't keep putting myself in this situation, right? To have that personal growth and say, I can't keep putting myself in this situation. I have to find something to make a change. I have to find an exit strategy. I have to find, you know, something else that I need to do. Because I have to have forward movement. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm not being like this butterfly and transforming and growing. I feel like I'm stuck in something. And I have to set those boundaries. By doing that, it gives you that sense of security within yourself. And you say, oh, I feel so much better, right? That I'm only going to talk to this person once a week, or I'm only going to talk to this person once a month, right? Or that, okay, the boundaries are that I'm not happy in this job. I'm going to start looking for a new job, or I'm going to start putting my resume out there, or I'm going to start finding a side hustle. And it's like, okay, yeah, I feel better, right? That you feel like, okay, now I can move forward. Now I feel like I'm creating a safe space for myself. I'm not cutting everybody and everything off. I'm creating a safe space for myself, so that I feel like I feel stronger and I can make more like informed decisions for myself and my own personal growth, right? Because that's what we're doing, is this growth. Your growth you're struggling with that. All right, so let's grab some final cards. Because I feel like you're stuck and you can't move. I feel like you're kind of in quicksand because you're struggling with the Ace of Wands, and you're struggling with taking actions. With the Page of Swords. All right. Again. Yes, here we are. Ace of Wands. And then one more. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, we have Wheel. Change. If you want change, you have to be change. If you want change, you have to be change, right? You have to set your boundaries. You have to initiate that forward movement. You have to make some tough choices. You have to kind of leave some things behind. You have to let go of some things, whether it's within yourself or it's with relationships with other people. And you have to you have to do the movement. You have to actually make things happen. You have to, and that can be very hard to do, right? It can be very hard, and it's almost like, especially when you're struggling, you feel like you don't have the strength to even do that. Like you feel like this sense of uncomfortability, but after you do it, right, taking those first steps, like you feel so much better, and you're like, I'm so glad that I did that. And I feel like it's kind of like that first step is always the hardest step. And to, it's not easy to have those conversations and to set those boundaries with people. But if you feel that it's something that's weighing you down, and it's stopping your forward movement, right? I feel like change wants to happen for you. I feel like it's trying to show you these things, right? That there are other outside things that are affecting, and you're like cutting through that, and you're like, no, I'm not going to let that affect me or them affect me, right? And I'm going to handle this difficult situation. I'm going to take actions to move on from this situation towards the sun. Because you're the only one that can make those changes, right? Like, you have to do it when you're ready, and you have to make those changes. You have to be in that frame of mind for it. All right, we're going to grab a wisdom of the, two wanted to come out. So let's go with two. We have thinker, right? Thinking about what are those boundaries that you need to set? What are those things that you need to change? What are those things that you feel inside that you need to work on? And observer, look at that. They both kind of look the same. Observer, kind of seeing how people are, people can say one thing, but their actions will say another. You know, if they say that they're, you know, going to do one thing, but their actions are showing another, like, I feel like it's almost, maybe that's what you need to do in order to set those boundaries, that you can really be an observer about what is around you and kind of thinking about, you know what, in my mind, I was thinking that this was really happening, but when I sit back and I observe the situation, I'm really seeing what's really going on here, right? That you're really figuring out what's going on here, and sometimes that can be kind of surprising, and you're like, oh, I wasn't really thinking that that's what was going on. Like, I just wasn't seeing it, right? That maybe you were turning a blind eye to it. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.